but it does if you think about it. If we take, and I know I'm doing this too early because there's a slide that does this better, but I like doing it on this one. Let's take you because you've given me some good right answers. Here's the raindrop. And here are the rays of light coming out. Okay, which one's coming out the bottom? The red. But as my hand is dropping, we got to be out of the light. When it's up here, notice now the red rays are pointing to you. Yeah. These are going over your head. You don't see them. The red appears on the top. This is one raindrop. As it drops a little bit lower, Roy, red, orange, yellow. Okay, here's the yellow. See, Roy G. Biv, you can always cheat. Here's the yellow. Now even though it's above the red, where you're seeing it, you saw the red rays up here, now you're seeing the yellow, then the green, then the blue. So even though it comes out this way, the way you see it is always red to the outside, blue to the inside. Except with a double rainbow, where there's another reflection on the secondary bow, the colors are reversed. Okay? Now this was taken with a telephoto lens, so it makes it look really thick. You can see the colors real clearly there, right? Makes it real simple. But when you go to the double, notice the colors are reversed. Always see it. You'll always get it. Go to the next one because I don't even remember what the next slide is on that one. Oh, it's exactly what I was just showing you. Okay? Each raindrop as it's falling through your 42, and the rainbow itself is about 1 degree thick. Okay? So Descartes was, 42, close enough, good enough. You get the credit. But the red coming out the bottom actually appears at the top, whereas that raindrop has now fallen farther through your cone. So finally, you get the blue and the violet. Even though they're at the top, you see them lower. Whether it's close up like the last one or the one where he did it with a garden hose or far away, it'll always appear the same size. The colors will always be the same. Go to the next one. Let's see what you got. Good. Yes.
You mentioned 51 degrees for the second rainbow.
Yes.
Is that a constant? Is it always 90 degrees?
Absolute constant. Absolute constant. Beautiful shot. This was taken, another guy in our astronomy club, Harold Williams. You got to give credit. These guys took the shots. Half the ones that are, I've stolen from calendars. Let them come back after me. But I keep trying to, people keep sending me new pictures, and I keep sneaking them in when I can, if I can thank people. Beautiful shot. Nice primary rainbow. Beautiful. Now again, where was the sun in this picture? High or low? Why? Because the rainbow is high. Exactly. The sun is getting closer to setting. Tall rainbow. Tall secondary. Notice the colors are reversed. These are constants. That's why once you've seen this, even if you don't understand all the physics parts that I throw at you, you will start to see all these different effects. All right. Friend of mine in England. They drive on the wrong side of the road, but their rainbows have the colors the right way. He's stuck in traffic, and he looks up. He's like, oh, that's what Bob was talking about, right through the windshield. Beautiful shot. Easy to take the pictures. Nice shot. Oh, that came up too early. Go to your next shot. I knew there was more to it. So, you got the 42-degree primary rainbow. You can see how the colors work there. On the secondary, the colors are reversed. They're just higher up. Go to the next one. I think we get another one. A shot ripped off from Sky and Telescope. We won't talk about that. Just showing the same thing. We can skip this because we already talked about it. Go ahead. Next one. That's boring. Go to the next one. That's the one I want. National Geographic, my favorite magazine. They ask us. And every now and then they have a question that even I can answer, which is kind of cool. When I see a double rainbow, the colors in the second one are reversed. Why is that? I know, you can answer that. Let's see how National G does. Answer. When sunlight strikes a raindrop, light rays go in, bounce off the back of the drop, and come back out. When passing in and out, the rays bend as in a prism. And the colors are separated so that we see the hues of the rainbow with red on the outer arc. That sounds impressive, but we've already done it. We got it. All right, what else we got? A smaller number of rays reflect twice inside the drop before they exit. The second reflection inverts the image, resulting in a paler rainbow with red on the inner arc. Yes, got it. Sometimes a third visible? Not. Absolutely dead wrong. National G blew it badly. There ain't no third rainbow, at least that not any human being has ever seen. People have looked for it, done all sorts of experiments, tried to figure it out. No one has ever seen the third rainbow. Now that I'm over here, all right, I'll hold this up real quickly so you can see it. Robert Greenler, Rainbows, Halos, and Glories, my absolute favorite book. If you ever buy it, you're going to recognize a lot of the pictures that are in my talk, because I stole a slide tray after he gave one talk and made copies of stuff. The book is fantastic. And I need to read to you from the book now, so I will need 2 pair of glasses because he doesn't believe in making letters that big so I can read them. Newton, in his book Optics, states without further comment, the light which passes through a drop of rain after 2 refractions and 3 or more reflections is scarce strong enough to form a sensible bow. What does that mean? I never saw one. I don't care. Now, Newton, it turns out, was lazy, because Newton came up with something else which every high school student loves, called calculus. And using calculus, within moments, he could have figured out where the third rainbow should be. He never bothered. He never saw one. They don't exist. End of story. Next. Oops. Later on, another fellow quotes Jean Bernoulli. You know, Bernoulli's principle and all sorts of stuff with air and flying and stuff. Bernoulli suggested that the third bow might be visible to eagles or lynxes, but not to the human eye. Okay, it's there. Our eyes aren't good enough. We can't see it. It's not until one of the heroes of astronomy comes along. You need an astronomer to straighten out the universe. Edmund Halley. Yeah, Comet Halley, that guy. Halley seems to have been the earliest to carry through to the end the calculations on the tertiary third rainbow. The result must have been a surprise. He found that the third rainbow arc has an angular radius of 40 degrees, 20 minutes. Okay, a little bit more than 40 degrees. Oh, wait. But that it should appear not in the part of the heavens opposite the sun, but as a circle around the sun itself. For at least 2,000 years, men and women, let's blame them too, had been looking for this arc in the wrong part of the sky. Back up a slide, please. Now one more. That's the boring one. Look at this picture and think, and you'll figure out where to look for the third rainbow. Sun comes in, refracts, reflects, refracts, boom, that way. Primary bow. Light comes in, refracts, reflects, reflects, refracts, boom. Secondary bow. Light comes in at a steeper angle, refracts, bounces, bounces, bounces. Third reflection. It's got to go this way, which means to see the third rainbow, you got to have the sun over there, then rain, then you. Nobody's been looking in the right part of the sky. You got to look towards the sun. Same with the fourth rainbow. It's not until the fifth reflection that it's back in this part of the sky, opposite the sun, and it's right in there. And you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it because it's just too faint. If we call the brightness of the first rainbow, the primary bow, if we call the first brightness 1, secondary bow is less than half as bright, 43% of the brightness of the first bow. So you've already lost a lot of light. The third bow, towards the sun, is 1/4 the brightness of the primary rainbow, in front of the sun, or towards and around the sun. The fourth rainbow is 15% as bright. And it's not, when you get to the fifth, it's 10%. So you're not going to see something that's only 10% as bright as that in here. And you're not going to see something only as quarter as bright as that around the sun. It's never been seen, it's never been photographed, nothing. I propose an experiment, and trust me, there's no way I'm the brightest person and the only one who's ever thought of this. But I want to create a situation where I've got, all right, the sun is going to be setting, because again, you can't do it when the sun is high up, because if the sun is high up and you need rain between you and the sun, you need a cloud here, you're not going to see the sun. It's got to be when the sun is setting. And then you got to create some rain. I want to set up garden sprinklers. And I want to set up big sheets of painted white plywood so that, and don't put them together, but leave space for the sunlight to come through. And if that happens and I stand back here, I can't see the sun, I've blocked it, I'm hoping against the white I might be able to photograph the third bow. And I will be the first. And I can't believe I'm the only person who's ever thought of that. And everybody else who probably thought of that hasn't been successful either. It might be possible, it might not. But as for, two slides. As for National G, that was wrong. What was it that they're talking about? Maybe we'll see a little bit later. Yes? Not allowed to ask. We'll get to it. That's after the next part. There's a very important part of this talk coming up right now. It's called my break. If I don't put this slide up, I forget to take a drink, and halfway through the next part, my throat is dying. Let me get a drink of Snapple here. Marianne, go to the next slide. I think it's boring. Yeah, go one more. I have the will to live. All right. Snapple break? You bet. Oh, real fact number 182. It's in quotes again. Is it a real fact or is it a real fact? A rainbow can only be seen in the morning or late afternoon. Well, it's a fact. Why not? Hold on, that's a deeper voice. First of all, what do we say? If the sun is 50 degrees up, do you have a rainbow? Well, if you can't see it, it's not there. If the sun is 50 degrees up, where's the anti-solar point? Where's your rainbow? 8 degrees below. There's no rainbow. I know they were cheating, but they're giving the right answer, so we'll let them live. If the sun is 20 degrees up, we already did 20 degrees, so you should already know the answer. If the sun's 20 degrees up, where's your rainbow? Well, the anti-solar point, 20 degrees below, where's your rainbow? 22 degrees up. So the sun can't be that high up. A rainbow can only be seen in the morning or late afternoon. That would be correct then. Why are you saying it's wrong? Because you know I'm going to pick on it. That's why. Why is that wrong? Quiet. No. No. That's great answer. Great answer. He said you can create one. We're talking about Snapple's not that bright. They make great iced tea, but they're boneheads otherwise. Okay? So what we're talking about is a naturally occurring bow. What did the deep-voiced yacker say? What about it? I live in Philadelphia. It's not that far north. Yeah. Why do you think I come down here every year? That's a rainbow. Taken at 12:30 in the afternoon. From Philadelphia. Go to the next one. I think I got one in this one too. Yeah, I love this one. What's at the end of the rainbow? Dunkin' Donuts. Yes. $1.43. Okay, you know that was taken a long time ago. That's Castor Avenue that I'm standing in the middle of again. That's right in front of my house. 12:30, most people are at work. You know, Saturdays they're trying to run me over when I'm standing out there in my underwear. How did I take this picture at 12:30 in the afternoon? Explain, please. The man said it was at well, it was not that bad. It was at a different angle. What do you mean? Yeah, they only enter the water droplet at 40. Your cone at 42 degrees. That doesn't change. What angle has changed? Yes, The angle of the sun. What about it? Higher. Higher anti-solar point. Higher solar, lower anti-solar, no rainbow. What about the angle of the sun? Think. See, you're very good at giving the first answer wrong, then thinking the second answer is dead on. What's the second answer? Thank you. For those of you who can't see, he just got smacked. And it wasn't by me. He's a black belt. Don't hit back. Even I'm learning that. Come on, what's changing? He said the angle. What angle's changed?
Oh, the angle of anti-solar, the sun.
Angle of the sun. What's changed about it?
It's greater.
See, first answer is always wrong. Should I make it easy on him, or should we all suffer together? Where's the... You think what? Well, the rain always comes down. That's gravity. That works. That doesn't change. The rain's just coming down. That's not a problem. It's something with the sun angle. Anybody in the back want to help a little bit?
Yes. Is it winter?
Not quite, but we're getting there.
The seasons.
What about the seasons?
They change.
They sure do. And what happens to the sun in the summer? Where is the sun in the summer? High. Where is the sun just before winter or in the winter? Low. This was taken December 12th. If I were to tell you, I'm going to make you do the reverse math, smart guy. Now you got to think, you better get the first answer correct. Because the people in the back are going to start hitting you because it looks like fun. That rainbow is 15 degrees above the horizon. How high is the sun? I know this is dirty. I'm doing the big math backwards. But now think, because you can do it. You guys can do it. If the rainbow is 15 degrees, yes! What grade are you in? Ah, she's in third. Yes, good job. You get a brownie, except you steal them, so it doesn't matter. That was Kylie, if you're listening, back in the kitchen. If the rainbow is 15 degrees high, you got 42 degrees away from the anti-solar point. That's 27 below the horizon. The sun was 27 degrees up, which is how high the sun is in early December from Philadelphia, even at noon. So, Mr. Snapple, if you had said, go back a slide, I forget what it said. Thank you. A rainbow can usually only be seen in the morning or late afternoon. They would have been dead on correct. But to say it as only, they kind of forgot we live on a sphere. And yes, at different latitudes, you will definitely get that effect even more pronounced. Where is Snapple? I have no idea, but they'd still be wrong because it changes. So remember, they're fun facts. They're not always correct facts, all right? That was your pop quiz. I forgot to warn you. This talk comes with a pop quiz, a midterm, and a final. That was the pop quiz. You're allowed to cheat. You're encouraged to work as a group. You guys did great. Let's move on. That's a rainbow. Next slide. We already saw that. Nothing to see. That looks good. Stop there. Why is that slide up? I don't remember. No peanut gallery. Let's look what's going on over here. Cool rainbow. Got a hint of a secondary rainbow. What did you notice in between the rainbows? No. Between the rainbows. You started to ask and I wouldn't let you. Unless you already walked out in disgust. I wouldn't say more clear. I would say it's darker. Yeah, but they said it first. Yeah. And you will always say this. You will start to notice every time I show a picture with two rainbows, it's always darker outside. It's always lighter inside. Now this is kind of like the first picture we showed. So let's, we've taken away a lot of the other rays, but let's look at this. All right, here it's easier to see. Here's the Descartes ray. Everything is inside of it. Notice all of the light. We saw a big concentration of rays before, right around 42 degrees, around the Descartes ray. But you don't see any rays out here. All of the light is being reflected inside. So you get a lot of scattering inside the rainbow. So that's what all this brightness is. There's no light out here going outside the Descartes ray. So this part is dark. Same when you flip it for the secondary. You'll get a little bit of scattered light on that side, but inside here is dark. The first person who ever noticed this was Alexander of Aphrodisias about 2,000 years ago. And we now call this Alexander's dark band. Anytime you see a double rainbow, a single rainbow, you should notice it's always darker outside the primary bow and brighter to the inside. Scattering of light, there's a lot more light, stray rays that aren't adding to the rainbow, but they're adding inside. So that's why it's always brighter inside the main bow. Okay. All right. I threw this shot in because actually in the summer I teach. This is one of the buildings that we teach in. So it's kind of like, hey, there it is. Double rainbow. Boom. Same thing. Brighter on the inside, darker on the outside. You'll see it every time. All right. Look at that. How's that for a shot? That's beautiful. Look at how bright it is in here. Dark right there. Notice the colors always reversed in the secondary bow. You'll see it every time. That's dramatic. Yeah. That's a cool one. All right. Hey, I like that. That one's out of focus. Wait a minute. Can I get that focus? There's another one. Somebody sent me this on the computer. I know they stole it from somebody else. I don't care. It's too pretty a picture. Great scattering inside. Good color. Dark band. Reversed. You can't get tired of looking at a good rainbow. All right. This shot was taken, again, Robert Greenler, this is in his book. He was having lunch at some drugstore. He walked outside, I think it was Wall Drug in South Dakota? He walks outside, cool rainbow. He walks in, give me one of those disposable cameras. Walks out, click, takes a picture, okay, develop it. To show just how easy it is to get a good rainbow picture with those cheap plastic disposable cameras with the plastic lens, everything you want to see. And look at how bright it is. And it's still darker on the inside, or brighter inside the bow, darker between the two. You'll see it every time, including in double rainbow. What's it mean? Look at his video. If you've never seen this bonehead, Google double rainbow on YouTube. Don't tell me this guy's not on drugs. Children, don't do drugs. They'll turn you into this man if you see it. Or a Grateful Dead fan. It's either way. Ooh, we got something going on there. Hold on, this is pretty. We got a rainbow. Now, there's no double one. Notice it's still brighter on the inside and darker out there, but there's something going on here. Something's happening there. There's like colors, there's like bands on the. Maybe that's the third rainbow National G was talking about. Nope, they were still wrong. That is something called a supernumerary. Don't ask me to spell it. There's lots of whatever, supers and numeraries. Also known as an interference rainbow. How do you explain an interference rainbow? How do you explain anything cool? In a dance. You're going to look stupid, but you're going to have fun. Here comes the interference dance. And it's where we talk about this picture. Let's ignore this picture. Let's ask a really simple question that we haven't even talked about yet. What's the shape of a raindrop? A tear. Absolutely. In cartoons. Water has something called the skin effect. When you see a droplet of water leaving the nozzle or leaving your sink, yes, it elongates, it turns into a little ball at the end, but it's attached like a teardrop. But as it lets go, it snaps back into a sphere. Which is why, guys, if anyone's going to do the beating, it's going to be me. Cool it. Every time I show a raindrop, it's round. They are round. They are spherical. Unless they are big raindrops. If they are big raindrop, this is a big raindrop. No, it's Lisa's grandmother. It was too ugly to throw out, and it was the perfect shape for me to use, so I had to keep this. If you have a really big raindrop as it's falling, the pressure of the air will flatten it out so it's like a hamburger, okay? Which is going to become real interesting in a few more slides. But still, it's round this way. It's just no longer round this way. But basically, raindrops are spheres, okay? And the size of the raindrop actually does matter. Average raindrops, no problem. But what happens when you have smaller raindrops? Look at these two rays of light coming in from the sun. They both enter the raindrop. They're bent. They reflect. They're bent again. They leave. Now, if we could actually measure the length that each path of light follows in the raindrop, if it's an average size raindrop or a big raindrop, it's not going to, it's going to kind of blur out. But if these are tiny raindrops, the difference in length of those paths can be measured in waves of light. Remember, light travels as a wave, okay? Now, if the path difference is the same, doesn't matter. But what if the path difference, the length of that path is different by half a wavelength of light? Well, that means you've got one ray of light up here, the other one is down here. So as they come out, they're not together anymore. It's what we call out of phase, all right? They're not together. If the difference in the length is one wavelength, boom, boom, now they're together again, okay? If it's 1.5 wavelengths, 1, 2, back to being out of phase, okay? 2 wavelengths, 1, 2, okay, you got the idea? Why am I looking stupid? Because I'm good at it. But what does it mean for a rainbow? When the light is in phase, it enhances the light. When they're out of phase, they cancel each other out. And that's what the interference bow is. It's tiny raindrops out of phase. So you get layers. Now, sometimes they can appear purple or green. Sometimes there's kind of grayish with no color. Sometimes it can be a really strong color. But you'll get these layers inside, only from the tiny raindrops. If it's a storm with mixed size raindrops, you're not going to get it because there's not enough light. Only a fine mist rain, you will see supernumeraries. And you will see them. A friend of mine took it. Look at this. And especially at the top. Here's something else interesting. When you have a big raindrop, does this add to the rainbow up here? No. Because the sunlight entering it, it's not round. It's not until the sun is setting that a big raindrop can help make a rainbow. And even then, it can only add to the bottom of the rainbow. Big raindrops do not add to the top. So if you ever go out and it's a really good rainstorm and the sun is out, there's the clouds, you know it's raining, but there's no rainbow, tells you right away, big raindrops. But keep watching, because as the sun gets lower, you might begin to notice a rainbow that's only at the very bottom. It won't go up. If it extends higher, now you know they're average size drops. And if you see the fine lines on the inside, you know it's a misting rain. Those are the tiny drops. Okay? You can tell. Big raindrops can only add to the bottom at the end of the, or the very beginning of the day, only when the sun is low. As soon as the sun gets a little higher, big raindrops, useless. Cool, cool shot. I'm trying to remember, this is also somebody from my astronomy class. I forget who took this shot. This shot I remember. We had a 12-year-old brat who actually sat through this talk twice. 12-year-old, and she paid attention and stayed awake. Thank you, Liz. Yeah, this is her shot. She's 12 years old. She walks out, cool, supernumerary. And knowing her, she remembered they were called supernumerary, took the shot, sent me an email. Bob, look what I saw. Little brat. I've never seen one that good.